All right, I determined there's a quorum. We're going to call our special meeting to order. The first order of business is the adoption of 2025 budget. Do we have any presentation for the budget?
There wouldn't be any presentation because you've already had the prior meetings and everything else. Tonight, sir, would be for any comment anybody want to make from the last couple of meetings and then approval of the budget to send to the DLGF.
Sure. Okay. I will now open the floor for public comment if anyone would like to comment on the budget for 2025. I'm not seeing any takers. So, we have closed public hearing on that end of it. So, with that, I will now.
Excuse me, point of order.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't we need to vote on that?
Yeah, I think that's, we
to
switched 3 and
close.
4
Oh, okay.
around. In your paperwork, Mr. Fleming called me and basically we switched 3 and 4 to take public comment before the vote.
Yeah, that
In
was
your
public
paperwork,
comment.
it's still
Okay.
backwards, ma'am. Yes.
Yes. So,
So
now
that's-
we'll go into the adoption of the budget. So,
Yeah.
Thank you.
so yes. So, we catch those. So, okay. All right. I will entertain a motion to approve the budget for 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The budget is adopted for 25. All right. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have
Second.
a motion. I have a second. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? None. We're adjourned.
It doesn't mean you're free to go.
No, we have. Okay, we'll move on to the special meeting, or the regular meeting. Once again, I determined we have a quorum. We'll call this meeting to order. I will now open the meeting with the pledge, so if you wouldn't mind, we'll stand up, and ladies, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? It's our flag. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Great job, girls. All right, we'll move on to item 3, Student of the Month. Dr. Mundy?
Yeah, we have several, because remember, we did not have student of the month, so I think we have 2 per grade level. Melissa, would you like to go first?
Which one's this one?
This is, Renneman first.
We've got a couple
Yeah,
for you.
we got a couple. You want to give them to him?
Feels like a pop quiz, you know?
Come right over here, buddy.
You get to stand front and center, Ruben.
Come on. You're coming too. Come right over here with me.
If it makes a difference, most of the time our teachers are more embarrassed than the students are.
Yes.
Which makes it great.
Okay, so I would like to introduce Reuben Matthews. He is a 4th grader and he is in Mrs. Durr's class. Reuben was nominated for Student of the Month by Mrs. Durr, and what she had to say was that Reuben is a great role model in her class, that he is constantly volunteering to answer questions, he's working hard to complete assignments, and he's always making a great partner during partner or group work. So when I talked to Reuben about what he likes and his interests at school, he said he really likes playing with his friends. If he could change anything about school, he really would like recess to be just a tad longer.
That's fair.
He really likes to play football and he likes being a running back. When he grows up, he would really like to be a football player. Something that he feels thankful for is he's thankful that he has a big family. Something that he does better than most people is that he listens. His idea of the perfect day is he would want to go to Disney World, and his favorite people are his family because he gets to do a lot of things with them and they help him a lot. So Reuben is doing a wonderful job at 4th grade at Sheridan Elementary, and we really appreciate all the hard work that he is doing, and we love having him in our 4th grade.
Go.
All right.
Ruben, do you want to introduce your dad?
Yeah, for your day.
Yeah. So he gets to, you want to introduce who he is to everybody?
Who your dad is?
This is my dad. His name is,
Yeah.
thanks, Dad.
Okay.
let me get out of this awkward part. I just realized all you see is the top half of my head. You're gonna have to,
Hearing you.
yeah, you're gonna have to send me that picture, Mrs. Deere. I wanna see that one later.
1, 2, 3.
What's that shiny thing in the background?
I just realized all I could see was over his shoulder.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna take this back because Mrs. Roberts isn't here to sign it.
All I could see was over his shoulder too, so I was like, wait.
On Wednesday. Awesome. All right, thanks, Ruby. You can kind of sit down and then we will get you in a few minutes. Okay, thanks so much, Ruben. And then we have our next student of the month. We have a fifth grader. We have Cameron Rensler. Come on up, Cameron. Come stand right here with me. All right, so this is Cameron, and Cameron is in fifth grade. She is in Mrs. Norris's class. Cameron was nominated as Student of the Month because her teacher said that she comes to school ready to learn every single day. She is very conscientious. She's a very conscientious learner and a friend to all. She is a great role model in the classroom. When I talked to Cameron about school and some of the things that she likes, she said she really enjoys math. If she could change something about school, she would like maybe a longer lunchtime. Her hobbies are soccer, basketball, softball, and drawing. So she is a busy girl. When she grows up, she would like to be a marine biologist. And what makes her feel proud are her grades. Something she's thankful for is her family. Something she does better than most people, she's unsure. If she had her perfect day, she would go to Florida. Her favorite people are Emma, Stephanie, Lucy, Allison, and Bridget because they care for her and support her. And we really appreciate all your hard work at Sheridan Elementary. Cameron, you're doing a great job.
Nice.
Who you brought with you? Yeah, good job. Oh, thanks. Good job.
Mom, Dad, you want some pictures too?
I'm getting out of the way. Yeah, I'm out. I got that. I got it this time.
Here, you can hold it.
Except for now you're changing the angle.
Good job. I'll crop you out, babe.
Thanks.
She'll actually crop me out. She's really-
Okay, one of those must work out. Very good, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna keep this.
That's right. We need a new background.
We had a nice one over there. I swear we did.
Mr. Davis, would you like to go next, sir? Because, Mr. Davis. Okay, so I thought. So we have two for the high school.
Okay.
Get two.
Who we got?
All right. Clover, come on up. We'll start in September, Student of the Month. All right, joining me up here is Clover Dorsey, and I'll say the nomination says that Clover truly exemplifies the efforts and standard that is. She demonstrates her personal best in the classroom, effectively achieving her goals, completing assignments, even has time to help others out. I've been lucky enough to see her in action during 8th period when she helps Mrs. Ransom in the library. The way she works with the middle school students who come in is what I expect from a Sheridan High School student. Her dedication and hard work show bright among her peers, and I cannot wait to see how she grows throughout her year as she heads toward adulthood. So that was the nomination, which was voted upon with other nominees as well. And Clover was chosen by the staff of the Sheridan High School to be September Student of the Month. So a few things about Clover. She is 17. She is a senior, member class of 2025. Her parents, Lisa Gatton and Brandon Gatton. Siblings, Ellie Biddle and Jace Males. School activities, she participates in Sheridan Cares, Sunshine Society, choir, etc. Her favorites, color purple. Favorite food is potatoes. Do you like purple potatoes?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, we can explore that. Candy snack, sour Skittles, and hot Cheetos, not mixed, I hope. Favorite movie is a classic, 10 Things I Hate About You. TV show, The Fosters. Book, Love and Gelato. Music or musicians, M.O.B. and Tupac. Her favorite classes currently, it's government with Mr. Hewitt, and in the past, it's Mrs. Williams, Principles of Human Services. Some more details about Clover. She can play the guitar, and she likes to drive. She can, things that always make her smile are her cat. Her cat's name is Smokey. And the farthest she's traveled from Sheridan is she's been to Hawaii, which was also her favorite vacation, which is completely understandable. Among her best friends are Michaela, Sarah, and Ashton. Things that they may not know about Clover. She is very kind, especially when you are kind to her. One of her gifts and her talents, plays guitar, as I mentioned, but she also is a welder. She's in the welding program through Pursuit Institute. She has a job working for Woody's Pizza, and after high school, she wants to get her welding certification. Memorable moments of school are being involved and getting to be a part of homecoming parade. And if there was something she could change about school life or society, it's just the thought that education or degrees are what make you smart. So, ladies and gentlemen, super proud on behalf of Sheridan High School to introduce to you tonight Clover Dorsey.
But, Clover, may I brag on you real quick? Do you care if I tell that story real quick? Just because. So Clover, first of all, the two high school students of all the high school are two of the coolest high school students we have. I mean, they are both awesome.
It's on record now.
Yes, and that's right. It's official now, you guys. It's on record. Clover is studying to do what? She is welding. So I was with Representative Houston today for a while, and we were talking about how the future of education looks and everything else. And because I know she's doing welding and everything else, she is actually the person we talked about a whole lot today as somebody who's going to really benefit from the way we do things now, but also is going to change how high school is done, because if I could have got you out in welding a little faster, you might have taken advantage of that, correct?
No,
Yes.
she loves being in high school.
Well, I know she loves it here.
Yeah.
Yes. So she was actually a topic of conversation, and I didn't even know she was coming here tonight, which is pretty cool too. So yes,
Really cool.
good job. Very proud of all she's doing.
Clover, congratulations. Thank you. I'll get that for you. You want a picture of it too? Bring your parents or anything?
Oh yeah, you didn't introduce your who's with you.
I've got my grandma, grandpa, and my other grandma.
All right.
My parents.
Rick actually signed this one, so.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to take a picture of it too?
They don't need me in this.
Maybe duck.
You might be able to duck.
Go over there. You want to enter, get in there. There you go.
I can pretend like I'm
Can't
working.
see my camera. I can't see you.
Yeah.
All right, smile. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Awesome. Congratulations. You get to keep it. Yeah. Hang it on the fridge. Absolutely. Very deserving. All right, up next, Devin. So Devin is our October Student of the Month. She is a junior, and her nomination says that Devin has always been one to help out the junior class or anyone else with homecoming, floats, banners, or whatever is needed whenever it is needed. She's also incredibly good with her academics and involved in everything, a joy to have in class and around the school. So with Devin, a few other things about her. She's 16, as I said, a member of the class of 2026. Her parents, Andrea Finney, that's her mother, no siblings, except for her band crew and choir crew. They're kind of like family, right? School activities, band, chamber choir, and also one of our wrestlers. Favorite color is dark green. Favorite food, mashed potatoes. You and Clover could maybe have some. Her favorite candy or snack, Cheerios. Favorite movie, Pirates of the Caribbean. TV show, Vikings, kind of on the water theme there.
I guess so.
Yeah. Book is Circe by Madeline Mills. Millis. Mills? Miller. That's an R, not an S. That looks like an S.
It does.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Music, song, Andrew Hosier. She likes Hosier. She likes Buckley and Mumford and Sons. Class teacher, chamber choir with Mrs. Doublestein. Some of her hobbies are music, literature, wrestling, and camping. Her dog always makes her smile. What's your dog's name?
Casey.
Casey. All right. What is the farthest she has traveled from Sheridan? She has been to Spokane, Washington. Favorite vacation was whitewater rafting in West Virginia. Some of her friends include Ruby and Nora, Jasmine, and Gracie. One thing that people may not know about her is that she loves to study. She would love to study abroad, especially perhaps in Germany or Greece. One of her favorite gifts or talents is that she played saxophone for 9 years and earned over a dozen solo and ensemble gold medals. She's a phenomenal musician. I can add that in. Does she have a job? No. You got plenty of time for that, though, so yeah, great. Favorite plan, or what are your plans for after high school and career goals? She wants to do some form of further education. She truly enjoys traveling, being outdoors, playing music, and she just needs to figure out what she'd like to do for the rest of her life. A memorable moment was performing at Carnegie Hall last year with the chamber choir on the New York City trip. And if money was not a consideration, one thing that she would change about school life or society if she would make art and music her future career. So, ladies and gentlemen, Devin Powarski.
Devin's the perfect example of what Sheridan students should do. Your resume is going to look quite cool when you apply for colleges with all you've done. Yes. And she is here all the. You can't have a job. You're here all the time. That's right.
That's her
Yes.
job. telling her. You have no time for
I know she's here. I'm moving.
Is the middle school in there?
No, they're not here. No.
Okay.
They had stuff. So.
Perfect. Or not
Yes.
perfect, well,
Right.
so,
I know what you mean.
do we want to do the Sheridan Showcase first or go to recess?
We can do the showcase because I think the showcase is about 5-10 minutes long, and we'll
Yeah.
do the showcase, and we'll take a quick recess, and then the actual agenda is just the things tonight. So as part of the showcase, as they get ready, Miss Love, do you want to come
I'll
and
do
introduce
that.
them, or do you want me to? It's up to you. But as she's coming up here, you guys know that since Mrs. Love has joined us, she has done a tremendous job on all the curriculum work we're doing, and I can't thank her enough for all she's doing. But she's also put together an outstanding team. I think it's important, as you guys know, as the board knows, we've been working very hard this year on our curriculum, our alignment, our instructional strategies, and these three have done a tremendous job. So they kind of want to give a quick update on what we've done so far this year. So.
So Lindsay Martin is over at the elementary, so she's mostly K-5, and then Ryan Kelleher is over here at the high school and middle school, 6 through 12. But together they've been leading the New Teacher Academy, so making sure we're supporting new teachers to Sheridan, whether they are fresh, out of college, or they've been a veteran teacher for 20-some years. And just getting them here to Sheridan and making sure they learn kind of the Sheridan way. They've also been working daily with teachers. Ryan kind of put it on a mission that he was going to get in every classroom, and he got in every middle school classroom by the end of last month. So just to visit, to make sure he's visible, he's meeting teachers, and then that's his way to start the conversation and a connection. So really, they are coaching our teachers. So they're there for whatever the teacher may want to work on, or maybe they want some fresh ideas, and Ryan is going to be kind of their thought partner. Lindsay's going to be their thought partner. Sometimes we know that one teacher can't meet the needs of all the students, and so they might connect teachers with another teacher in the building that's doing wonderful things as well. So it's really just making sure that our teachers are supported, we're connecting them with what they need, and sometimes we just need to have a conversation and reflect about our lesson. Their schedules allow them to go in and watch teachers teach, and then have a conversation afterwards to reflect on how it went. So, I hope I didn't take everything we
No,
talked
that's
about.
okay. That's okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you for the introduction. I appreciate that. Lindsay and I want to talk briefly about what instructional coaching is to begin, and then talk about where we are and where we hope to go. Here, we'll keep it relatively brief here tonight. But to start, and I know if everybody's in the audience, I apologize. It's right behind you there on the screen. But really, the goal, as was just discussed, really is about impacting student achievement in the district. When we do that, Lindsay and I do that through supporting teachers in their classroom, spending time with them in the classroom, really bringing in and supporting them with those evidence-based instructional practices through, and we're moving over here.
Just make sure you knew you were on the mic over here. Yes, so that's all. You're doing great. Yes.
Through whatever they need, right? Whatever help they need in their classroom, and then we're here for both new teachers and experienced teachers as well.
All right, so we have two different kinds of coaching that we go through. We have informal and we have formal. The informal goal is to provide immediate feedback for teachers with whatever they may need. It might be one-on-one with what they need. It might be a small group of teachers if they have the same goal in mind, and those are short. And then we have formal coaching where a teacher has a goal of whatever they want to improve in their classroom, and we're working one-on-one with those teachers. And typically it's a 3 to 6 week cycle on those formal coaching cycles there. We have the shorter and longer, but a longer coaching cycle, like I said, is typically 4 to 6 weeks. We sit down with the teacher, they present whatever their goal is to us, and we work alongside those teachers to meet that goal, but we'll talk about that a little bit more here. So more about the informal coaching. Maybe a teacher needs help with their lesson plans, or they need help with a resource of some sort that they need. All different kinds of things, possibly reviewing student work or looking at data from any testing that we do. Sometimes you get all this data and it looks great and you see the numbers, but sometimes actually taking that data and using it, sometimes that's a struggle, so we can help with that. We connect with other teachers, like Mrs. Love was saying with the classroom visits. One thing that's really nice about going into other classrooms is that you see awesome things going on, and so you have a teacher that comes to you and says, I really want help with this, where you could say, oh my gosh, I saw this teacher doing it, let's all work together, and we work together for that goal. Co-teaching alongside of those teachers as well. And then we have formal coaching, and that's when we're going through a coaching cycle. It's when we are working with a teacher on a unit of study. So when the teacher comes to us and says, you know, right now I'm working with a teacher that she said, my students are understanding what they're doing, but they need help being fluent readers. So that's the goal that we're working on right now. We've come together, we've developed a learning target, we have a pre-assessment that we've given the kids. We are currently working together, teaching together alongside of each other to meet that goal. Planning together at least once a week. That teacher and I get together during her planning time, and we go through to make sure that we're doing what we need to do to be on the same page with that goal. And then after that's done, about 3 to 6 weeks or so, we come back together. Whatever the goal is, we do a post-assessment to see where we're at with that, and then we sit down and we reflect. What went well, what didn't go well, what can we do better next time, how can we go from there? So that's the difference between the formal and the informal coaching that we do.
As Lindsay said at the beginning, a coaching cycle is really where we want to spend most of our time and make an impact with teachers. It's a voluntary process, so we're not forcing teachers to be part of the coaching process, which allows for more buy-in from the teacher's perspective. We focus on in a formal setting on one unit of study. So we partner with the teacher for one unit of study, work with them for that duration of that unit, could be anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks, and then debrief on a regular basis, as Lindsay mentioned. So where are we so far? So far, we have focused and prioritized, as Mrs. Love said at the beginning, getting into all of our classrooms, and we have almost made it there so far in the school year, which we are very, very happy about. And it's allowed us to really get great insight into what the strengths of our teachers are, so we can share those strengths among each other. Beyond that, I'll let Lindsay talk about what additional progress has been made over the elementary.
So at the beginning of this, I had several teachers come up to me and say, we love the data that we have with NWEA, we like the beginning of the year assessments that we do, but we need more support with phonics. We need to make sure that kids have those foundation skills, and we don't have an assessment or we don't have anything coming in so we can really hone in on those skills. So I work with teachers K through 3, and we developed a phonics screener based off of another screener that we had, and we made it work for SES of what teachers wanted, what they wanted to assess their kids on to make sure that they knew for their foundations of phonics. So I began the year with that, getting out there and helping assess those kids to see where we needed to go. So that took a chunk of my time at the beginning of the year, but it was really good data that we have. The teachers now have it in their hands, and they're using that in their small group instruction and some one-on-one instruction to help make sure that kids just aren't skating right by, that we're really truly figuring out what each kid needs with their phonics. So that's how we started out. I did real quick initial visits in classrooms. They weren't long by any means, but just I was checking in with every teacher at the beginning of the year, but right now I'm starting longer visits into classrooms to really see all the great things that we're doing to be able to share. And I'm currently working in 2 cycles of coaching right now. Both are actually with reading skills that we're working on, so that's where we're at the elementary.
At the middle school and high school, we're focusing on math and coaching cycles in our math department, both at the high school and middle school level. We've spent a lot of time with our brand new teachers to teaching, not just Sheridan, but those that are new to teaching, which is exciting, and supporting them, and then working on professional development for the upcoming year, which is exciting. we talked about this a little bit at the beginning. We have a new teacher academy that Mrs. Love discussed. We've had 2 partial days with all of our new to Sheridan teachers and new to the profession teachers. We've also allowed them the opportunity to see other teachers in action, which our new teachers have really appreciated, the feedback that we received. At the elementary, we rotated them around to a few different classrooms, and had some really great takeaways and instructional practices that they identified that they wanted to incorporate in their own classroom. Now, beyond that, we're meeting with our new teachers on a regular basis and doing regular classroom visits. So beyond all of that, we're really excited about the instructional coaching program at the high school, middle school, and elementary, and where we're going to take it here in the future, and where we've been so far. Any questions? And we covered a lot of information.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
a comment.
absolutely.
It sounds like the goals are very classroom or teacher specific because they're individual needs that they have. But I was curious as to down the road how you will tie that into our system-wide goals or our system-wide or building level goals or outcomes.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great question. Right now, we have really focused on identifying the needs to begin. And beyond that, starting to really align where we stand at the elementary, at the middle school, and high school so that we're all in alignment from a curricular standpoint and then an instructional practices standpoint. And I believe we're going to be starting down that path here soon on tying what we're doing in the classroom to ensure that we are meeting our improvement plan and our building level objectives.
Thank you.
That was a perfect answer from what I think that Mrs. Love and I just met today. And as I've mentioned to the board, we've spent a lot of time figuring out, and because of their help, it's moved rather quickly, figuring out what we truly needed. I think if you remember, as a board, I discussed the fact that we know we have some things to work on, but we weren't 100% sure what they are. They've really done a nice job of looking at the little things, but coincidentally, nice timing on that question too, ma'am. Mrs. Love and I just met on that exact topic today of what does then the district goals look like when we get done with this. So I appreciate you asking that question, ma'am. That was well done. It was almost like I asked you to ask that. It was perfect. Yes. Thank you, guys.
Awesome.
They've done a great job. Thank you guys very much.
Thank
So,
you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
No more questions? You good? Okay. All right, with that, if you want to sit through the whole meeting, you are more than welcome to, but we're going to take a 2-minute recess. So if you want to leave, you're more than welcome to. If you want to stay, feel free to. We're going to take a recess.
No one ever stays.
Kent? They make it out next month.
Thank you. Yeah, that was.
What a bunch of great kids. Yeah.
And there's the 2 high school students. Their resumes, because they're here.
I almost put Mrs. Dare on the
Kim,
spotlight master.
that question came because I'm halfway through the book.
Really? Talk about student outcomes.
So I can thank you for that little, yeah.
Because he forgot to call breakfast. So yes, he's okay.
Good, okay, that's good. That's
He's okay.
Oh,
He
good.
thought it was.
We got a good
I did
answer.
too.
Yes, until
Until I got
because
the
of break.
notification.
Yes. Yeah, I was more worried about the other.
Yep.
Did we hear from John?
That was next. Yeah, because we're off a cycle this week because of fall break. So that's why.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Count faster.
You know what? I thought he normally like 5:30ish. I thought about it then. It was almost like, hey.
He's on hold. All right, you ready?
Yes.
All right, we're back in order. All right, we skipped an item here, agenda revisions. Do we have any agenda revisions?
No, sir. Technically, the only thing we had was, like I mentioned on the first one, that we'll make that agenda revision, but that does not affect this one.
Check, good deal. All right, I now open the floor up to public comment. Does anyone want to make public comment on any item on the agenda? Please come to the podium, state your name, address, all that good stuff. No? All right, fine. Public comment is closed. All right, we'll move on to item 7, consent agenda.
We
Dr.
had-
Mundy?
Yeah, we had a lot of good things go on. If you saw if you saw the donations, excuse me, first, as I normally like to do to give my I'm gonna run through them. We got one from SCRI, basically for $1,000 to help the athletic fund. James and Alice Booth for Dave and Barbara Keeling. EMC Precision gave money for the high school boys basketball. Weight Grain to the high school girls basketball. Weight Trucking to the high school girls basketball. And the Hamilton County Farm Bureau also made a donation to FFA. In regards to personnel, if you'll notice, we've had a few people resign from their different or change positions. Just want to make sure the board catches that too as we go into consent, sir.
Okay, good deal. All right, I will entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Do I have any comments? Any questions? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The consent agenda is adopted. Item 8, old business. I see no old business.
No, sir.
Okay, good deal. All right. Item 9, new business. We'll start out with Resolution 9.2, Resolution 7-2024. This is resolution authorized lowering of individual fund and total tax rates and/or cuts and appropriations as deemed necessary by DLGF, review of Sheridan Community Schools budget. All right, I will entertain a motion to approve Resolution 7-2024.
So moved.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, we'll move on to 9.3, resolution transfer amounts from education fund to the operations fund. It is as it reads.
It is. Yes.
Move to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right. We'll now move on to item 9.4, resolution 9-12, adopt bus replacement plan. Okay, I have a resolution to adopt bus replacement plan for budget year 25. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Is there any discussion? No? Okay.
Yearly plan, yes, sir.
All right. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right. 9.5, resolution 9-12, adopt the capital project fund plan. It is as it reads. Do I have a resolution to adopt the capital projects fund plan?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Do I have any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. All right. 9.6, resolution to adopt Form 4. Love the way this reads. So, ordinance or resolution for appropriations and tax rates. That's what this one is. All right. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Not one time now.
Do 'em
Second.
all.
Second. I have a second. Do I have any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right. Item 10, superintendent report. Dr. Mundy, your turn.
Thank you. I will run through, just so the board and everybody in the crowd knows, Rick and I both just did get our text. It looks like the soccer team lost in the first round of sectionals 4-1, but however, because that's also on here as one of my lead-ins, the soccer teams, both of the girls and boys, were conference champions, and we've had one whale of a season. For a team, they have I'd say overachieved is a good way to put it in the boys team this year from what they thought they were going to do, and they've had a great year. So I know that's no one likes to lose in sectionals when you get to it, but they've had a wonderful year. And the girls are conference champions. The volleyball team has a chance to finish second, I think it is, in the conference, and football could still tie for first and or second. So we could go into this fall season with basically the best fall we've probably ever had, top to bottom, being first and second in all the conferences. And every one of our programs right now has a winning record, which is fantastic. A lot of credit to Beth, our athletic director, as well as our coaches who are really doing some good work. And we got a lot of families and good kids right now that are really supporting them. I also want to thank Mrs. Love over there and also Ryan and Lindsay who have come here today. They've done a great job, and I know I said a few minutes ago, but I don't want it to be overseen. The work they're doing is vital to where we want to be down the road, and they have put a lot of effort into it. Libby had a great concert last week. She is now in charge of all the choirs. Now, even though Gretchen was there, Libby did have a great show for anybody that got a chance to see it, and it was 6 through 12 last week for the choir. And I believe band is soon, a couple weeks still, I think, but band's right around the corner. And I do want to kind of thank the homecoming committee that did a lot of work in preparation of a hurricane. So they did a lot of prep, a lot of things. I think the dance still went okay. The only thing that was a little sideways, literally, was the football game that night. And so we didn't get it quite finished, but it was still a lot of fun that week. And going into it, a lot of people did some good work. And talking about good work, finally, I just want to make sure I recognize our teachers right now are doing a tremendous job. Yeah, I say this a lot. We get to tour families around. Mr. Davis tours families around. These guys get to see them in the classroom. We have some teachers doing some incredible work, both veterans that have been with us for a while as well as new teachers. And I just want to make sure I recognize all they're doing. You know, this stretch, we're heading into fall break, and I think everybody's probably looking forward to next week quite a bit. But it's not like it's stopped. The work has started day one, and it is still, our teachers deserve a lot of credit for all that's going on. So that's all I have tonight, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Mundy. All right, we'll move on to item 11, board member comments. We'll start over here to my right today with Mrs. Boone.
Okay. I would like to congratulate the soccer teams for their conference wins. It was wonderful, and wish them well as they move forward. I'm always so pleased and impressed with our donations that this community gives, and this community is wonderful, and it makes a big difference, and so I truly appreciate those. And I also would like to thank Ryan and Lindsay and Valerie for the work you're doing in strengthening our instruction and our curriculum needs. It's really wonderful. Wish you well in that, and continue to be interested in knowing about it.
Thank you. Mrs. Zachary.
Thank you. Nancy said much of what I wanted to say, so I will echo that. The only other thing I'd like to add is that I really hope everyone gets to rest and relax on fall break so that you can come back refreshed and ready to go.
Good point.
All right. Mr. Henning.
I'm actually going to give a thanks to Jake tonight. Jake sits in these meetings in the corner and stares at his computer and
We don't know
cleans
what
up
he's
after
doing.
us. I don't think you've been thanked yet, so I'll give Jake a thanks. And I think Mr. Bragg has a perfect attendance so far this year to board meetings, so I'll give him a congratulations as well.
We do appreciate it.
Actually, we appreciate all you do because,
Yeah.
like, when you get to be out of town on a Friday and you happen to know the Bragg Sports Network might have the game on, it makes it great. I will say that too. Yes.
And congratulations to all the athletic teams. Like you said, it's going to be a great fall. And be safe for fall break. Come back safe. Enjoy your break.
Thank you.
Don't go to Florida.
Don't go to
Don't go to
Florida.
Florida. So, yeah, here we are. We're at the end of the first quarter
now.
right? So fall break next week. So everyone go out, have a great time, rest, relax. Thank you two again for coming and presenting for us. We always enjoy having presentations, and this coaching program is phenomenal for us and trying to help those teachers hit that next level. So, we appreciate what you do more than you know. So thank you. So, and Mr. Bragg, do thank you. I did not go out in the hurricane. I appreciate you streaming that game, by the way. So, a little wet, yeah. So, but I mean, overall, it's been a very good first quarter. Very happy with our faculty and staff and what
Yes.
they've been able to do. Our community, not only do we have our actual school sports too, but you see the athletics and the rec leagues that are coming up too, the younger students getting out and teamwork building. It's phenomenal to see what this community does. And I've had a good opportunity to go out and get to talk to everyone here this last couple of months.
And
So
the
glad to
softball
see it.
field is exciting.
Yes.
Softball field's moving. I think I learned from the head of basketball program sitting over there too. We have the record number of kids signed up for youth basketball and stuff, so it's exciting everywhere.
So, but there's always something to do in Sheridan. I think it's important. It keeps our kids activated, our community activated, and puts us on the right track. So,
Yes.
just very proud of what we are here at Sheridan. And like Dr. Mundy always says, it's a good day to be a Blackhawk.
It is.
So I appreciate that. So, thank you. Those are my comments for the day. Our next meeting will be November 11th, which I believe is Veterans Day. So
Yes.
6:30 that day. So, all right. With that, we'll move on to item 13, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.